This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by Groundhog Day is an event, not a business strategy. Are you ready to finally solve those pesky issues that keep holding back your business success and never seem to go away? Embrace the power of the spring formula that unearths the issues and opportunities burrowed beneath the surface, and grow your business so you thrive from your intersection of your brilliance and your passion. Claim your copy today at www.thegroundhogbook.com. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I am your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Right now, we are speaking with Anabrese Neuman, who is a spiritual life and empowerment coach and facilitator of the Unlimited Empath coaching program. Just to tell you a little bit about Anabrese, she's a qualified energy healing practitioner, 20-year vegan, spiritual teacher, singer-songwriter, and author of the empowering ebook Into Bliss, as well as a vegan recipe ebook called Raw Christmas and Thanksgiving Recipes. There is so much more you can discover about her. You can find out by visiting our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and checking out the episode. But before we dive in, let me just share with you one quote from Anabrese that she likes to say: "When we do our own healing and raise our joy frequency, the whole world benefits." So with that, Anabrese Neuman, welcome aboard. It's so great to have you here today.
Thank you, Adam. It's good to be here.
Okay, so I alluded to this just a little bit, but I'd like you to say it in your own words. How does the work you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and the world at large?
Well, I support spiritual empaths, vegans, eco-warriors, awakening women, people who are really looking to kind of discover more about who they are and how they show up in the world. And with everything that's going on in the world today as well, it's just, I like to be able to help people discover their calling and align with their true soul purpose and what they're here to do. So that's what I do, basically.
Right. So in your own words, again, what is it you actually do?
Well, I provide spiritual coaching and help people do their own healing. And basically, if they've got trauma or any limiting beliefs that are holding them back in their lives, I help them basically go in there and do the dirty work and discover more about their really more intuitive soul purpose, and basically do their healing. And I offer them energy healing tools so that we can clear out energy blockages in the system as well.
Right.
And also do exercises to help them really align with what they're here to do in the bigger picture of the planet as well.
Yeah, that's great. And something I can really resonate with myself is I've been on a pretty intense self-discovery journey myself. And what I find most remarkable, most frustrating, at the same time most beautiful about it, is each time you peel back a layer, you discover something else. I've also done a lot of studies and a lot of work in areas like resonance repatterning and looking at inherited traumas and inherited patterns, and really acquainting myself with how so much of what we are, what we do, and what we experience is largely formed within us by the time we're, say, about 8 years old. And here we could be 40 years later, and we're reacting to something that happened just when we were first entering consciousness that we could retain in our memory, and don't even realize that until we peel back and analyze and be able to separate ourselves from any guilt or sense of having wronged or done wrong and be able to look at it objectively was actually one of my big transitions.
Exactly. It's coming from a loving, non-judgmental place, and being able to look at our patterning, our behaviors, and our conditioned programming, and basically, societal expectations as well, and things that we learned from our parents, from our schooling, and basically find out, who the real us is, basically, and who the false self is that we've identified ourselves with. Yeah.
Exactly. So what are a few questions that people have for you as they go through their process of deciding to work with you?
I think at the moment, because of the program that I developed, I'm really keen on helping spiritual empaths overcome overwhelm that they feel in the world. So something they might ask me is, how can they not get so bogged down with, what's going on in the world, and how can they feel more empowered within themselves, and how they can also take action in a positive way that would actually, have some kind of benefit in the world, but also be related to their calling as well. So they would ask me something like that. And also how long my program is, which is 12 weeks, because it really takes time to process and go through some of these limited programs that we're talking about, and the process it takes to really shift the patterning and the perspective so that they're more, higher, the perspectives can be more empowering and from a higher state of consciousness, so that they can basically break through that limited false programming.
What are a few questions you wish people would ask? This is actually one of my favorites, because as people who serve others from our intersection of our brilliance and our passion, we find, if only more people would just ask these things, we could help so many more people, because it would just help us get it out there even more.
Yeah, I think if somebody was to ask me, how can I feel more empowered and make a difference in the world by just being me, by just being my authentic self. So that would be a great question. Also, just how can I be happier and tap into their inner joy as well, and be freed up of the heaviness and the weight, that they've been carrying all their lives through different, trauma and things like that. And also, how can they be less worried about the earth and what's going on in the world today? Because that was a huge one for me a few years ago. I just, felt so way down. And as empaths, we really feel that. And, we feel the energy of other people and everything that's going on. And I just see that people can be very disheartened by it all. And so, that would be something. And also, how can they help the animals and the planet as well? Because that's dear to my heart too.
Exactly. So this is where we get to have some fun, and we shift this, and this is a little bit more about getting to know Anabrese as a person. And when you share this one with your friends, followers, and clients, this is where you get the chance to surprise them a little bit. So first of all, what would people who know you be surprised to learn about you?
I have a real affinity with rats.
Rats? Okay.
Yeah, rats. I had companion rats for 13 years.
Yeah.
And they were some of the most amazing, inspiring spiritual teachers. They taught me so much about life, the cycle of life and death. And, I really kind of dived deep into that myself as I was going through my own awakening process. Because I think one of the things we face is our own mortality and, just getting to grips with life and death. So, rats have taught me a lot about the cycle of life and death. And they inspired me to write a Christmas song as well, because I'm a singer-songwriter as well. Yeah,
absolutely. What do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
My goodness. I think that I would like them to be saying that I'm a kind, compassionate, loving being, and someone that has time for people, because I live on a Scottish island, and I do have time for people in the community, and I just enjoy speaking to people and, brightening their day if I can.
Yeah, right.
So,
if you could go back in time and meet some famous person, alive or dead, who would it be? And what question would you have for them?
if I could go back in time, so if they can be, would they be alive?
Actually, you know what I just did? You know what I just did? And
I think you mixed two questions.
Yeah, and you know what's happening here is I have about half my voice today, so
same here.
So that's why I'm a little more muted than I normally am on these episodes. So I'm trying to channel a different type of energy. But let me ask the correct question. If you could go back in time, and by the way, folks, this is part of the beauty of podcasting, is these meta moments are just part of it. We're not going to go back and edit this stuff. It's part of how we naturally communicate. So Let's reset. If you could go back in time and change one thing you've done, what would it be and why?
Well, I'm a great believer in that everything happens for a reason, and that everything, that there's a kind of destiny, a certain amount of destiny to our life and our unfolding, and that things happen for a reason. But if I was to change one thing, I kind of wish I'd stuck at my music a little bit more, and got my songs out into the world a bit more. Maybe because now I'm realizing the value of some of the lyrics, which were quite spiritual and about nature, and it seems more current to today than maybe back then when I was writing them. So I'd like, if some of the songs had got out there a bit more and just delivered a message as well.
Yeah. What now? Now we're going to do the other part of the question, and we're going to get this completely aligned now. So, what famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet, and what questions would you have for them if you had the opportunity?
Well, one of my favorite teachers at the moment is a teacher called Bentinho Massaro. He's a spiritual teacher, and I really love his work, and I'd love to, just swap notes with him. I'd love to meet him. And I'd also want to ask quite a big question to him as well, which is also just about combining presence, being and spirituality with activism in the world. And just, I'd like to know how he goes about that in a balanced way. So that would be my question, is just to get some tips off him.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that's awesome. If this were the Family Feud, I would tell you that as far as the Brilliance plus Passion project, the number one answer is Jesus Christ. We hear Jesus all the time.
Him as well. Why not?
Oh, sure. We'll just make it a party. And as I love to say, being Christian myself, Jesus brings the party with him literally. There was that time, and I know that the Bible changed it and added a lot of thous and therefores and what have yous. But do you remember the story about the time that he invited his buddies out to the tavern, and when he got there, he realized he forgot his wallet. So when the server came by, he said, "Oh, we'll just have water, thanks."
and he had a good trick with that water. He had a very good trick. So I definitely put him on the party list.
Absolutely. So what motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
I think for me, the animals, helping, just doing what I do, being of service to the planet, to people in general, helping to bring, make the world a better place, helping to bring light into the world and joy, and just also trusting in the greater good, universal love, intelligence that, I feel is always with us, no matter what we go through. And also the lessons, there's always lessons behind everything that we go through, and, makes us stronger and teaches us things.
Yeah. Now, I know you have a little gift for our audience that you want them to have, or an invitation for our audience that you want them to be able to take up on. It's a very, very nice little thing, and I'm really excited to share it, and we'll do that for you. But in general, before I do that, tell us, generally speaking, what is one action that you would urge our viewers and listeners to take as soon as they finish streaming this episode?
Yeah, I think, I just got a little exercise for them, actually. I'd love people to go away and just, write down like their one biggest desire, and why they want it. Why do they want what they want? And also
Right.
to see if they can kind of take their personal desire and sort of expand it a little bit, stretch it out into what could actually benefit the planet and the collective at large, that would also fulfill them as well.
Right. I think that's fantastic. And, in one of our other conversations we had just today, we were discussing the power of vision boards and making lists. And I shared that when I find myself either scatterbrained or having a lot of stimuli or invitations coming my way, but there's one thing I need to focus on, I will write down that one thing on a piece of paper or type it in really big font and print it out, as the case may be. So every time I feel those things pulling, I look and I see, there's only one thing on the sheet. That's it. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing right here at the moment. Other than cuddling with this kitty here. For our viewers, this is one of our office supervisor, Princess Alessandra Francesca. Those who actually watch these episodes through the credits know that she's in them, along with her non-sister, Princess Stella Juliana.
Oh, she's so lovely.
She's been doing so good today. So far, she hasn't knocked my camera over or pressed a button to interrupt the whole thing. She's really good at those two things. So here we go. I'm going to say this. I'm going to display it on the screen, and I'm going to say it out loud one time for those of you who are out running and jogging. It's www.anabrese.com. That's spelled Naabrese. So www.anabrese.com/meditation-MP3. Look in the show notes on our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. You'll see that link, but I said it out loud for the people while jogging and running. And what you're going to get there is the opportunity to claim your access to a meditation called Tune Into Bliss. Reignite your inner power, peace, and purpose. I strongly encourage you to take a look at this. It's really, really interesting. It's about 20 minutes long, and I believe you'll gain some benefit from it. So again, look on the screen, look in the show notes, and you'll see the link. And with that, Anabrese Neuman, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, an education.
Thank you very much, Adam. It's been a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.